Hi, and welcome to Jack at the Movies. I'm your host, Jack Heim, and today we're going to be talking about another special look behind the scenes of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. In the film, Indy, who we know has been through multiple different adventures, is now retiring as a professor of archaeology from Hunter College, and during it gets involved in one last adventure when his goddaughter takes an artifact which could be used in the wrong hands by an old enemy from Indy, played by Mads Mikkelsen. The film came out on June 30th of this year and is still in theaters right now, so if you haven't seen it, I hope you go see it on the big screen. And there's a great sequence in the movie. If you have not seen the movie, go watch it before you see this behind the scenes of it. There's a great sequence, but if you have seen it, you know what I'm going to be talking about. It's talking about the 1944 sequence with Indy during his early years that takes place, is a mini adventure which takes place before the events of where we see Indy now, after a 12-year gap between the events of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and now. So, and we get to hear interviews from James Mangold, Harrison Ford, Steven Spielberg, Kathleen Kennedy, and all the crew behind this action sequence, and it is a dynamite sequence in the movie, and it's one of my favorite sequences out of the movie. The footage here is not owned by me, it's owned by Paramount, Disney, and Lucasfilm. So here we go with the Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny behind the scenes on one of my favorite sequences in the movie. Let's roll it!
Convention of presenting an earlier adventure which links the rest of the story.
Nothing like this had ever been done since the old days of the Republic of Europe.
You want to get dropped back into Indiana Jones and have that feeling that you had when you first saw Raiders of the Lost Ark or Temple of Doom. You sat down, there was Indiana Jones, and you knew you were immediately going to head off into an adventure.
In this case, doing a sequence, and a really elaborate one, with Indiana at his prime.
I love seeing the concept art showing Indy during World War II, and I hope Disney decides to do, like what they did with Marvel and Star Wars, the art of books, which I own, of all three Star Wars movies of the sequel trilogy of The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker. I hope they decide to do one on Dial of Destiny, so then we can see the concept art on this sequence, the Morocco sequence, the parade sequence, and even concept of costume for Indy, and even concept for when they did The Force Awakens, they showed concept when they were going to go into production in 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, before Disney bought it in 2012.
At his prime, fighting Nazis. I felt like I wanted the chance to make a movie with a young Harrison. The ambition in me wanted to crack at it. So we wrote a sequence, a kind of elaborate adventure that opens the film.
I love hearing the original score from...
We're doing this. Okay. An essential element of an Indiana Jones film is that we see the world. It's inspiring us about how much there is to find under our own roof on this planet.
The opening image, we're coming out of the Lucas logos. Actually, in a very traditional way, with dolly track, no fancy equipment. It all goes from micro shot to huge scale.
Then there's the question, how are you going to shoot Harrison in 1944 when he would be 37 years old?
The methodology used footage of me from 40 years ago that was in the vaults of Lucasfilm.
And what that means 40 years ago is he's been working with Lucasfilm for 40 years, since American Graffiti in 1973 to Star Wars and even the Indiana Jones series, and I love that they used this CGI, and it looked realistic, and it felt like something out of the original trilogy in this sequence.
Very, very effective.
Yeah.
We've got two really important things in our favour. One, the best bunch of people with the right kind of technology. Two, Harrison Ford is really good at playing Indiana Jones.
I recognize as my voice has changed as I've aged, and I can force it into a higher register, and I can add a little extra energy to it.
He could see that it was getting what he was doing. Meaning it was coming from his soul. He was driving the expressions, the intensity, the passion of the character.
Smashing through stuff, falling through floors, breaking here, breaking there.
We wanted to try and make this feel like something that is of its time. And of its time, at least the 1980s and those original movies.
Certain sounds that Indiana Jones must have, and that is the over-the-top punches, the big guns, the very big, iconic sounds. One would really enjoy and celebrate the Indiana Jones legacy. We had a lot of discussion about the Wilhelm scream. We had a vote where we would go, and put it in 6 or 7 places, and the one that you hear now is the winner.
I think people will recognize the style of the earlier films.
Fade and I would go after the kind of Douglas Slocum feel, which is also inseparable from Stevens' own sense of staging. So scenes with shadows, or scenes where an actor becomes big to lens up to minimum focus,
Using a lot of those classic devices in terms of lighting sources. We have a lot of, Douglas Slocum references.
In making a movie like this, it's kind of like you're making a visual score. All these little pieces that all have to make a whole. Is this a process shot? Is this a stuntman shot? Is this Harrison doing for real? You have to plan out all these locations. Each one of these choices you're making for each shot. But the summation of all these choices is what we love about movies.
Give 'em hell, Indiana Jones. This is one of my favorite movies of this year. I loved seeing it on the big screen, and during it, after the film came out, just last weekend, I got to send a review, a little bit of my own, like 10-15 second review of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny to Kevin Shurka at the Indiana Jones Nerd, and it was great being part of that ensemble, a little bit of showing a little bit of what I knew about the franchise, and it's one of my favorite franchises ever. It's one of the greatest franchises that I've ever seen on the big screen since I was 7-year-old with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and waited this long, and I loved it. And so the footage here is not owned by me, it's owned by Lucasfilm, Paramount, and Disney, and I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys like and subscribe to the channel, and until next time, fortune and glory, kid. Fortune and glory. Goodbye for now.